Oh, folks, if you missed tonight's Warriors Jazz game, you missed a thriller. I'm not being an egregious here. I'm not speaking hyperbolically here. That was an unbelievable game. It really was. A game that featured one team who apparently is not tanking, referring to the Golden State Warriors, and then one team that is so egregiously, obviously tanking that in the fourth quarter of tonight's game, you literally saw their best players sitting on the bench. For two of those players, the entire fourth quarter. The other two played a couple minutes. Oh, the Utah Jazz got fined $100,000 earlier this season for tanking. And they're still pulling this shit. It's unbelievable. Well, they had this game gift wrapped for the Golden State Warriors. And the Warriors, and more specifically, I really hope Brandin Podziemski supporters show up tonight so we could talk about this ugly 0 for 4 from the free throw line. Just the Warriors rallied in the fourth quarter of this game and came back. And that rally happened because Podziemski was on the bench. I'm starting to approach Warriors basketball with the mindset of if Pods is playing, the Warriors are tanking. It's the only way I can stomach this without just absolutely losing my shit. The Bob Fitzgerald glazing of this kid is unreal. Next level propaganda. It's gross how much the Warriors as a franchise are trying to push this kid and make us believe he's something when, look, LJ Cryer should have all his minutes. Malachi Leons should have all his minutes. Nate Williams should have all his minutes. And those are two-way players. But again, look, the Warriors should be losing and not winning games at this point. So mission accomplished. The Golden State Warriors now a 500 team. They lose in Mormon country tonight, 119-116, the final. A game that really was close throughout and was fun to a certain extent. If it wasn't for the fact that this is just completely meaningless outside of postseason positioning. And so let's talk about it. The Utah Jazz. All, again, I'll explain what I mean in terms of the Jazz just blatantly taking this one. Let's talk about it. Oh, and side note, DeAnthony Melton. I saw somewhere on social media somebody who clearly had placed money on a player prop for Melton. Melton only played, I think, 7 minutes in the first half of this one. More specifically, DeAnthony Melton in the first half played a total of 6 minutes and 40 seconds. And I saw a couple people actually kind of losing their shit going, what is Kerr doing? Why is a guy I have money on only playing less than 7 minutes in the first half? And I had to reassure these folks and let them know, yeah, because Melton is still on a minutes restriction, and the pattern lately, at least, has been Melton playing very limited first half minutes and then getting a heavy run in the second half. I bring him up because at the very end of this game, Melton hit a late three that meant absolutely nothing unless you bet on him. And if that late three was the difference in you winning money and losing money and you came away a winner from that, folks, that's why we gamble. DeAnthony Melton had 15 fourth quarter points. 15. God damn. Wasn't enough, though. The Warriors losing this one, 119-116. The final. Let's talk about it. G4 in our chat saying, what minute restriction? Jason Tatum is not even on a minute restriction. Is that true? Are you sure about that? I would be a little concerned if I was a Celtics fan and I learned that Jason Tatum was not on a minutes restriction. But yeah, DeAnthony Melton is, as he's still recovering from torn ACL that happened about a year and a half ago. And again, that fourth quarter performance, not enough. Let's talk about it. It's Monday. Ugh. Warriors lost. but they're tanking. So, all right, thumbs up-ish. Regardless, we're powered by FanDuel. Program's called the Golden Days. Yeah, let's go, baby. My name is Cyrus Saatsaz. I am your host for the evening. You can follow me on Threads and Instagram at DogWild over on Twitter. My handle is at Surf Journalist. The program on both those platforms at Golden Days Pod, coming to you live from the Golden Days studios in beautiful Northern California. A wide, vast span of land. We're hiding somewhere there in West Sonoma County. The program is called the Golden Days. We're powered and brought to you by FanDuel. The Warriors did not cover this spread tonight. They came into this game 6.5-point favorites and did not deliver. The Utah Jazz not only covering that spread, but upsetting the Golden State Warriors. And the Warriors are back in action tomorrow at home. Big Al Horford and Tingus Pingus were not available for tonight's game, so they were already home. One player who did make his an appearance for the first. Pingus! I said that like 20 seconds ago. Editor, come on. I did. Well, one player who did make an appearance tonight, who we haven't seen in a long time, Seth Curry was back, and Seth in this game played 12 minutes 9 seconds. Was 2 of 3 from deep. Both those 3-pointers coming in the opening quarter, finishing with 13 points. The Warriors as a team had 8 players scoring in double figures. The only players who, this is a weird box score. So, hold on. 11 players played for the Warriors tonight. 8 of the 11 scoring in double figures. The 3 that did not, Malachi Leons, who played 13 minutes, 22 seconds and scored 0 points. How did that happen? Make sure is my audio good? Yeah. Another player, Pat Spencer, 12 minutes, 39 seconds, 0 points. And Draymond Green, 32 minutes, 28 seconds. Thankfully, did not lay a triple single, but only had 6 points. 6 points. Just 2 rebounds for Dre. That's bizarre. Did have 10 assists. Every other Warriors player scored in double figures. Queen of Noise in her chat saying F Podziemski and Pat sucks too. I'm sorry. Don't be sorry. They're professional basketball players. It comes with the turf. If you want to be a professional athlete, it's part of what comes with the package, with the privilege of being able to play on an NBA court, to be a part of an NBA organization. G Leaguers, two-way players notwithstanding, these are millionaires. Although Pat Spencer is like right on the cusp, but Podziemski's a multimillionaire. Rip away. No, don't apologize for that. They both stunk tonight. And Draymond Green, again, avoiding the triple single, but I never like seeing just 2 boards for Draymond, especially when he plays 32 minutes and 28 seconds. Our FanDuel player of the game, I was going to go a Guy Santos, but I might have to lean DeAnthony Melton. We could also do a feel-good a selection and go with Seth Curry. I'm going to leave it up to the audience tonight to decide who is our FanDuel player of the game. Your nominees. Nominee 1 is Guy Santos, who played 32 minutes, 27 seconds, was 6 of 13 from the field. The one stat that was ugly, 1 of 7 from 3, and I think the 1-3 that he made came in the fourth quarter of this one. Let me confirm that real quickly. Fourth quarter, Guy said no. Was it the third quarter or was it the third quarter? No. When did Guy Santos hit his 1 3-pointer in this game? Second quarter. Okay, never mind. Well, nonetheless, Guy Santos, I thought, relatively speaking, still had a solid game tonight. 15 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals. Unfortunately, just 1 of 7 from deep. That is candidate number 1. Candidate number 2, DeAnthony Melton, who played just 19 minutes and 56 seconds in this game. 7 of 16 from the field, was 3 of 6 from beyond the arc. 7 boards, 2 assists, 2 steals, a block, a 15-point fourth quarter. 15 of Melton's 22 points coming in the final 12 minutes, which is an impressive stat. 22 minutes on the night total, which led his Golden State Warriors. And option number 3, Seth Curry. Played just 12 minutes and 9 seconds. I'm guessing he was on a minute restriction, but it was 2 of 3 from deep, added 2 assists and a rebound, 13 points for Seth Curry. Who's our FanDuel player of the game? Well, Carla here. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I thought you were nominating Draymond. Never mind. Got a vote for DeAnthony Melton from S. Tharp. Riz saying Seth Curry deserved it. Carla saying option 4. There was no option 4. I get what you're saying. Adding Draymond Green should be the player of the game. Food fight in our chat. Spelling food with a P-H-O-O. I like that. Saying they better give Brandin Podziemski the max. Absolutely right. He 100% deserves it. Dude is going to be a future all-star. He's never scored 30 points in his career, but Bob Fitzgerald can't stop glazing the kid. KKS voting for Seth Curry. They call me NSRV, a.k.a. Bloomer Vibes. Great to see you tonight. Saying Seth Curry, vote for him. NKNK voting for Gee. Queens of Noise saying GP2 had a great game. Was a player of the game type worthiness? No, we'll get into that in just a second. But again, the Guy Santo, I'm sorry, GP2 and the cutting never ceases to amaze. The Real Truth 224. I think you meant Seth Curry, but you wrote Steph Curry. Close enough. This is a tight vote here. Yoko Nakagawa saying Guy Santos, player of the game. DeAnthony Melton was ball hogging. Another vote for Seth. Anyone? Any other votes? Yeah, it's not a very exciting topic to be picking players of the game when you perform like that. Let's just give it to Seth. Steph's brother, first time he's played in over 3 months, was cleared, showed up, looked good in the first half of this one. And I believe his scoring output was reserved predominantly for the opening quarter of this one. Seth Curry in quarter 1 tonight hit 2 of his. He had 2 3-pointers total, so he was 2 of 2 from the beyond the arc in the opening quarter. Seth added 3 more points, all off free throws in the second quarter. And then in the second half of this game, Seth had 4 points in the third quarter. Did Seth play in the fourth quarter? He did 1:51, but did not score, had 1 assist. All right, well, nonetheless, Seth Curry, welcome back, our FanDuel player of the game tonight. 4 of 6 from the field, 2 of 3 from deep, a perfect 3 of 3 from the free throw line for your true shooting nerds out there. I think that means that percentage will be very high tonight. Added 2 assists, the board, a +3 in net rating, 13 points. Seth, welcome back. Bravo, our FanDuel player of the game. Now, in the fourth quarter of this one, paid chat, by the way, really quickly, this is from the Professor Armando Laura, who was missed. We took a happy hour off this week. Armando slammed, dropping a $4.99 donation. I might have to revisit this one because this is a very good topic to discuss, saying, why is Steve Kerr getting all the credit for Guy Santos? Had him benched all year. We said he should be playing with Kaminga. Had they done that, there would be no injuries. Yeah, 100% agreed. I mean, first of all, this channel is is Guy Santos Pro. We favor the kid. We like Guy, a.k.a. Gooey. Since he started getting real minutes over a year ago, we've been saying he should continue getting those minutes. We were suggesting at the start of this year that worst case scenario, play him as a small ball 5. I love Guy Santos. And if people are crediting Steve Kerr for his development, that's just buffoonery. There is, again, I feel like we're at a point now where if you're still pretending that Steve Kerr knows what the hell he's doing, you're just, it's an opinion that's clearly not going to change from your perspective. But to credit him for Guy Santos when we never saw him until everyone else literally got injured, if anything, all that does is reveal how much he missed the mark with Guy, a player who undoubtedly should have been playing sooner. There's also a theory going around out there that I've read, and it's intriguing, stating that Guy Santos got the low ball contract treatment, meaning he did not get the contract offer until his value was diminished so they can get him on the cheap, 3 years, $15 million. And the way this organization operates, I'm no longer going to sit here and just immediately deny any of these types of accusations because everything's just crazy. It's just nothing makes sense. It would not surprise me if ultimately we found out some years down the road for some leak or some admission that, yeah, we had a strategy in place where we'd routinely, hold players back, limit their minutes, limit their opportunities so we could lowball them. Moses Moody is another case in point of someone who probably would have made a lot more money on another team. Jonathan Kaminga ultimately got screwed out of $100+ million playing for this team. Who knows? Who knows? We shall see. But I'm totally 1,000% with you, Professor, that Guy Santos in no way, shape, or form should be his development should be credited to Steve Kerr. I think that's outrageous. Professor, 100% agree with you. In the fourth quarter of this game tonight, in a game that was competitive throughout, the Utah Jazz did outscore the Warriors in every quarter, but except for, I believe, the fourth. Yeah, in the fourth quarter, the Warriors outscore Utah 32-28. Final score in this one, 119-116. And the Utah Jazz, if you're looking at who played tonight, I don't think it's up for debate. I think it's a fairly safe claim to make that the best player on the Utah Jazz, who again was active tonight, was Keyonte George. And Keyonte George finished this game with a so-so stat line. Nothing with that can be substantiated with braggadociory, but it wasn't awful. He played 24 minutes, 9 seconds, 15 points, 6 of 15 shooting from the field, 1 of 5 from deep. But again, he is their most explosive player. He's the kid that this organization, when I say this organization, meaning the Jazz, are excited about. Fourth quarter of this game, 0 points. I'm sorry, 0 minutes. 0 minutes for Keyonte George in quarter 4. Yeah. Another player who got 0 minutes in quarter 4, Kevin Love. Old man Lovey. Now you'd think, well, it's Kevin Love. I mean, the guy's at the tail end of his career, and if he doesn't play in the fourth quarter, I mean, is that really evidence of an intentional tank? Well, you know what Kevin Love did in quarters 1 through 3 of this game? Besides the 12 points and 8 rebounds, he was a perfect 3 of 3 from deep. He was killing the Warriors. He got a DNP in quarter 4. And then the 2 other egregious things that Utah did in the fourth quarter of this game. Their second and third best players tonight, Brian Sensabaugh and Kyle Filipowski. And those 2 at times were feasting on this Warriors squad. Sensabaugh finishing tonight with 21 points, 2 of 5 from deep. adding 2 rebounds, 3 assists. And then Kyle Filipowski, whose size was giving the Warriors issues this entire game, 19 points, 15 rebounds, 5 assists. But in the fourth quarter, Sensabaugh and Filipowski each playing below 5 minutes. Sensabaugh playing just 3 minutes, 28 seconds, did not close the game. Filipowski playing just 4 minutes, 48 seconds in that final quarter, did not close the game. Who did close the game and play almost all those fourth quarter minutes? John Concher, formerly of Denver Nuggets fame. Cody Williams. Okay. Blake Hinson, who hit the dagger 3 that sealed it for the Jazz late in this game. And Elijah Harkless. Those 4 players, again, Cody Williams, John Concher, Blake Hinson, Elijah Harkless, all played 12 minutes in quarter 4. It was, again, I don't think this would be a storyline, anything worth mentioning, except for the fact that the Jazz got fined $100,000 just a few weeks back for doing this exact thing. Difference being the players that were being DNP'd in the fourth quarter previously were guys like Jaren Jackson Jr., Lauri Markkanen, and now they're trying to be a little more creative, but the DNP for Keontae George, are they just flipping a middle finger to the NBA? I don't know what's going on there, but that is what happened. And then when you look at the Warriors, it's almost like a complete 180 in terms of their fourth quarter minutes, because it looks an awful lot like they're trying to actually win these games, although maybe they're doing the most subtle of tanking. Maybe the Brandin Podziemski minutes do reflect tanking. I don't know. But in the fourth quarter tonight, I thought Guy Santos, again, I'm not going to put this on him in terms of the Warriors losing. DeAnthony Melton had an exemplary fourth quarter. Again, 15 points in quarter 4. GP2 played 9 minutes, 30 seconds in the final quarter. That's kind of crazy. So the Warriors don't look like they're intentionally tanking, but maybe it's the most subtle tank job imaginable, because that's the only way, again, I can stomach these Brandin Podziemski minutes. Podziemski tonight, the one part of the box score that reflects well on him is the 3-point shooting. He was 4 of 6 from beyond the arc. And you'd think to yourself, all right, Pods, you're shooting the ball well. Might have been a good night for you. And he did have 8 rebounds as well. And again, we all knew from the time he was drafted, this kid could rebound. When the Warriors plucked him with the 19th pick, the two things that stood out were the 3-point shooting, 43.8%, and that is not translated to the NBA game. And he averaged 8.5 rebounds per game at Santa Clara. That part has translated to the NBA. Problem with Podziemski is, again, the assist numbers in 35 minutes, 7 seconds. Yes, he led the Warriors in minutes again. Oh, just had 4 assists. And 14 points is not something to write home about in 35 minutes, 7 seconds. But he also led the team in turnovers tonight. You don't usually see that. And with 3, Warriors played a very clean game in terms of turning the ball over tonight. 10 total for the team. So Podziemski's turnover total representing 30% of the team total. And then something that we keep bringing up here routinely, the free throw shooting. Podziemski is one of the worst free throw shooters on this team. And I bring that up consistently because I feel like the double standard of treatment between all the same folks who used to love bringing that stat up with Kaminga, they stay dead silent on that same topic when it comes to Podziemski. Don't be a hypocrite. Be consistent in your critique. If free throw shooting means that much to you, then levy your criticism at Podziemski. The reason why I bring that up tonight is because Podziemski from the free throw line was 0 of 4. And 2 of those misses came at the end of this game. when they actually needed those points. The Blake Hinson 3, the Podziemski missed free throws, that is what sealed this game tonight. And so here we are. Search less raw diet. Search less raw diet in our chat saying, how are you seriously talking about this game? That's a great question. I feel like if your job in life is to cover the Golden State Warriors, and you weren't working before, you are working now. It ain't fun to watch these games. It feels like work. It ain't that fun to talk about this team. It feels like work. But this is the job. We're here every night no matter what. With that said, yeah, this team's ugly. They're now officially 500. Not a good look. Not a good look. GP2, someone in the chat mentioned that he had a good game tonight. 5 of 11 from the field for GP2. He did have a really nice dunk in this one. Got some old school gravity-defying leaps on a slam. That was one of the rare highlights for the Warriors tonight. GP2 was 1 of 5 from deep, 13 points. And one of the biggest reasons why I did not take him seriously as a FanDuel Player of the Game nominee is because outside of those 13 points, there isn't much else to really talk about. 1 rebound total, 0 assist total. So you got to be able to check off a few boxes statistically in order to get that nod, or be an unusual exception like a Seth Curry, who just has a damn feel-good storyline behind him. But yeah, it's anyways. Let me post the link here. This might be a short show tonight after a game like that. The Warriors are back in action tomorrow night. They host the Chicago Bulls. Al Horford and so Al Horford's definitely gonna be coming back tomorrow night, and then maybe Pingus gonna play. There is absolutely zero certainty when it comes to this guy and whether or not he's going to be available for any future action. He was sent home before tonight. He did not travel with the team from OKC to Utah. Same with Big Al Horford. They're in the Bay Area, and they're expected to be available for tomorrow. Let me see if the injury report is already available for tomorrow night's game. I forget how soon they publish those when it comes to a back-to-back setting, but look, the Warriors, in all likelihood, are going to be in the draft lottery. And you want to have the best odds imaginable to get a top 4 pick. What is very unusual, the Warriors have not submitted their injury report yet, so no idea if Tingus Pingus will be playing tomorrow. Again, Big Al Horford is expected to play. I don't know if DeAnthony Melton has been cleared to play in back-to-backs. Again, we know he's on his minute restriction has been not lifted, but extended. It was at 25 minutes. I thought it had been extended to 30, but he only played 19 minutes, 56 seconds tonight. I don't know why that is. And I don't know if he's going to play tomorrow. I have no clue. Quentin Post was the starting center for the Warriors tonight. And unfortunately, he was 0 of 6 from beyond the arc. The Warriors put up 52 3-point attempts in this game, only making 16 of them. That's good for just 30.8%. The Utah Jazz put up 18 fewer 3-point attempts. They were 12 of 34 from beyond the arc. That's good for 35.3%. And the players on the Warriors side responsible for the anemic shooting: Quentin Post, again, 0 of 6. Guy Santos, 1 of 7. Draymond Green, 1 of 5. GP2, 1 of 5. Pat Spencer, 0 of 2. Malachi Leon's 0 of 1. The team's good 3-point shooters tonight included DeAnthony Melton going 3 of 6. Podziemski, again, the one stat line of his that was good. He was 4 of 6. LJ Cryer, a feel-good story, another player that on this program, again, if you're a Golden Dazer, if you watch this show consistently, I safely call you the highest IQ audience of any Warriors program out there, largely because we tell you things sometimes months, maybe even years before it happens, before everyone else comes around to realizing what we tell you here way ahead of time. LJ Cryer is another one. This kid can play. He showed at least myself enough in summer league and in training camp with those preseason games to show me that there's something there. LJ Cryer tonight, 3 of 8 from beyond the arc. You can live with that, by the way. That's what, 38% shooting from 3, 11 points, 4 of 9 from the field, added 5 rebounds in this game, 2 assists, 1 steal in just 16 minutes and 45 seconds. If the Warriors were not tanking, I'd probably be screaming right now why LJ Cryer is not taking all of Podziemski's minutes. But we're tanking. We're tanking. So it's okay. But LJ Cryer was awesome. Maybe awesome is a strong word. He's been awesome in his rookie stint. An undrafted rookie coming out of Houston, a team that was in the national title game last year. The guy who was also in a national title game last season at the conclusion of March Madness. Will Richard still out with the bum ankle. We don't know if he's going to be available tomorrow night. Moses Moody was out as well. I want to really quickly, before I post the link, talk about Nate Williams, who, here's what I'm getting from this guy really quickly. Don't know if I like the three-point shot. He does look a lot like Kalena Azubuike. He does. Like when you see him on the court, they are similar in a lot of manners. That's besides the point. Nate Williams tonight was 5 of 8 from the field. 12 points, 4 rebounds, added an assist and a steal. And he looks like a real basketball player. He looks like someone who belongs on an NBA court. But there is one flaw with him that I've noticed early on. And this is something that could change. This is something that maybe my initial impression is a bit off. But I don't see him being an elite three-point shooter. I don't know if that's his thing. Now, the good news is he seems to be so in tune with every other aspect of the game that he's the type of guy who can make it in this league without being elite as a three-point shooter. But that's the one part of his game that has not given me a lot of confidence in him. Everything else I love. And Nate Williams, there is potential there. I just don't know what the potential is. Malachi Leon's played 13 minutes, 22 seconds tonight, and it was a very quiet 13 minutes, 22 seconds with just 2 rebounds, just 1 assist, picked up 3 fouls in 13 minutes, 22 seconds, and had 0 points. So of the 3 super young players that are getting some run now on the two-way side, referring to Cryer, Leons, and Nate Williams, LJ Cryer so far is living up to the bill. We'll see what happens with him. I wish he got some real minutes. Nate Williams looks like a real basketball player. I don't know how he fits in the grand scheme, if he fits at all. I don't know if his future is with the Golden State Warriors. Side note, the broadcast crew tonight mentioning he just had the birth of a child. Congratulations to Nate Williams for that. To me, the three-point shooting is suspect. That's the one part of his game that I'm not anywhere near sold on. The rest of it, I mean, he has such a natural feel for the game that I do want to see more, but I don't want to see him loitering at the three-point line, waiting to take shots, because a lot of those are bricks, and I'm not sold on the mechanics of that outside shot from the southpaw. That's just me, my own personal analysis. Take that for what it's worth. Beyond that, Draymond Green's been saying some stuff. We'll play some sound of his in a little bit. He called out a huge chunk of the Warriors fan base. He's hearing the noise, folks, and he's not happy about it. We'll talk about that in just a second. But for now, let me post the link. If anybody wants to join the program tonight, do have one email that I want to read. You know, why don't we do that? Let's start with we haven't jumped into the email segment. We usually save that for the end, but for tonight, let's get it. Let's Let's hear from the writers of our audience with an email.
Letters. We get letters. We get stacks and stacks of letters.
All right, this email comes from Ken, a.k.a. Wordman. Oh, he's in our chat a lot, too. Golden Days. All right. Did not know that until just now. So Ken writes, what happened behind the scenes with Jonathan Kaminga is pretty simple. Kaminga and his agent Aaron Turner wanted out. Kaminga's performance in the playoffs against the Wolves was all they needed. The talking heads were talking. People outside the Bay Area started asking questions. They'd seen Kaminga excel against the very best players in the league and excel at the highest level, the playoffs, with no practice. He went in ice cold-blooded. Kaminga held the cards except one, the ace of spades, which represents money. They did not have the power to make a roster decision or plan for a future of any kind with the threat of him taking the qualifying offer and leaving. We reported exhaustively about Lacob and Dunleavy flying to meet Kaminga and Aaron Turner this past summer to do damage control and figure out how to appease his camp. The sticking point was Steve Kerr lying about him, manipulating the press, saying he was slow and provided nothing of value to offer to the team. But Dunleavy doubled down and said he had no value anywhere in the league. Now a little backdrop. Darren Peterson of Kansas is one of them. He knows what he is, and any team drafting him has to make certain promises and have a developmental plan so the lottery pick can thrive. Peterson is not going to a team that doesn't feature him, period. He's at Kansas for 1 year because he has to be. He isn't going out there risking injury because some Rashad McCants thinks he's better than he is and injures him out there. Kaminga had a similar ceiling, which is why, in part, he slipped to the 7th pick. Had the talent, work ethic, skill set, and intangibles, but he doesn't communicate fluidly. He clearly has had media training to think and examine every question critically and then give the practiced answer. There was an initial plan for JK to take over, but Kerr won the 4th ring and everything else went out the window, including the promises the team had made to Kaminga and his reps about developmental opportunity, which included minutes, communication, etc. Kerr broke every agreement and then tried to blame JK. So naturally, Kaminga's camp had it with the promises and lies. Kaminga's camp, especially Aaron Turner, hates Kerr. And for good reason. Steve Kerr's been a snake. Call it what it is. He's the leak. He's the admitted source of all the BS that comes out for Tim Kawakami, Anthony Slater, Nick Friedel. It's the Dubs mass media cartel that simply spins the corporate narrative. So suffice it to say, neither side trusts the other. Now, Lacob was there because he actually liked Kaminga and knows he's great, but Steve Kerr apparently has final say about who plays. I think when Steve Kerr signed his extension, part of the language was he has final say on personnel. And if that is what Lacob agreed to, that explains a lot. Jimmy Butler was Kaminga's mentor. It's odd that Jimmy was his teammate for 38 games. And because he was his mentor, this verbiage is weird, I'm sorry. What has Steph and Draymond been doing? Jimmy explained to Kaminga how the game is played, both on and off the court, unless Kerr honors the agreement that you have with Joe Lacob and Dunleavy. You are not only not playing, but they have to agree to trade you. And that's what happened. Everything else did. Mature thinking megastar in the making. Maybe not here, but in Europe, the UAE, and Africa, the emerging markets. Kaminga is going to make a killing, and Steve Kerr is going to take the L. Wardman. All right. Let's try and clean up the grammar a little bit, so when I'm reading these things, I don't have to make a million edits, Wordman, but well said. Let's go to our audience tonight. Shut the music off. Return of the Julian joins us from the East Coast, New York City, more specifically. I think Jersey, technically, on the other side of the river is New York City. How you doing?
I'm doing well. There's a guy that was in the chat that was at the game today. Can someone say his name? Maybe you want to bring him on, Cyrus. Let's see.
What did they write in the chat that was
King something? No, he was at the game today.
What time did they write that? I'm sorry.
What's the guy's name? King something.
Well, why do you bring that up? What's the point?
Oh no, because I think he's in the lobby. I'd rather have someone that was able to see the.
He's a King Layer hybrid.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, King Layer, you'll be next after Julian. Go ahead, Julian. What's on your mind?
Okay, I'll just keep it brief.
All right.
So those people that said like, oh, myself or Armando was wrong because we predicted like 4 or 5 in a row. I just say that the law of averages do come back. So every great win that you think the Warriors are turning it around, whether it's the Nuggets or say the who they beat recently or the Rockets, they will lay an egg with a team like this. And I'm glad you pointed out that the Jazz were tanking. And I was in the chat just kind of screaming, Keontae George is not playing. Can you guys see this? He wasn't playing the majority of the fourth. And the Jazz coach wasn't calling any timeouts when the Warriors were going on this run. So we have to keep that in perspective that the Warriors tonight lost to a team that was the players are not tanking. That's what there's clearly effort by the Jazz players. There's clearly effort by the Warriors players. But sometimes tanking is playing the players that give you the most likely chance to lose. And so, and also you have to understand that they fought their hearts out and they're on a back-to-back tomorrow. Yeah, Porzingis or Horford might play, but you're going to have some tired legs out there. Green's going to be tired. Maybe he sits out. I think Pods looked a little bit tired early in the game, and I don't want to continue to beat home the Pods point here. But if nobody,
he's helping the Warriors get a high draft pick, man. Well, I'm officially on the Pods train now.
Well, if nobody knew any of the players' names and they just flipped on the game today, would Pods stand out from any of these undrafted players or two-way players? Or would you just think he's one of the guys? You wouldn't know that he's the go-to guy. There's somebody in the chat a couple of games ago that says, Pods shouldn't be getting assists because he's a shooting guard. I think that label was Steve Kerr protecting him because DeAnthony Melton's listed the point guard, but you can see Pods.
Podziemski calls himself a point guard. He said he's done that repeatedly. That's what I base that on.
But he's also
actually doesn't call him a point guard. Podziemski calls himself a point guard.
Yeah, but he's also the main ball handler on top of the key, making decisions. And if you're getting 35 minutes a night over a long stretch, like he had a couple of 20-point games, and I say, what you going to say now? There's a thing of law of averages. If someone has 12 bad games in a row and then 2 good games, they're going to revert to what they are. And it's all going to average up to what you see, what is like 14 points per game, below 45%, 37% from 3. That's kind of who he is, but he also gets extended time to prove that. Like LJ Cryer, you can't tell me that LJ Cryer, who had 2 assists, if he went from, where is he at, 17 minutes to 35 minutes, what is that, 18 more minutes around there, that he would have gotten 2 more assists and outscored Pods 11 to 14.
Not to mention, Julian, Guy Santos is not a point guard, even though he played point a lot of his career in Brazil, but he's not a traditional point by the standards that we apply to these positions. Side note, positions don't exist in the NBA. Literally, it's not in the rule book. They exist primarily so we can communicate the game clearly, but it's an antiquated concept. That's why all NBA has scrapped positions. They don't exist in real life, like in terms of the actual rule book and the fundamentals of basketball. Like Dr. Naismith did not put in the design of the game, one guy plays point guard, one guy plays center. It's just, I don't even know where these position names came from, honestly. I should probably look that up at some point. I digress. The point is, Guy Santos had 5 assists tonight. And routinely, night after night, we see a lot of players on this Warriors team who don't play a point guard, but they can still consistently get more assists than Podziemski. It's indefensible. It's indefensible that he cannot routinely get good assist numbers. It's also indefensible that he can't hit free throws. Yeah. It's embarrassing. He was 0-4 tonight. That's bad.
I'm going to drop.
That's bad, man. That's bad.
I'm just going to say one last thing for those that are rooting for this team. Just understand you had $163 million worth of contracts not playing tonight. The team was built around that $163 million of contract. When that's not out there, you just can't fill it in with people off the street and expect your team to still be competitive for a playoff spot. And the last thing I'll say—
What did you mean a second ago when you said for the folks who are rooting for this team? Do you not root for the Warriors, Julian?
No, I do, but those that are saying that they're we almost beat OKC, we beat the Nuggets, we beat the Rockets. I'm like, stop fooling yourself for these fool's gold of wins or losses, whatever it be. Like, think in reality. $163 million worth of contracts is not playing. You can't pick guys off the street to do that. Last thing I'll say, because Kingslayer wants to get on. If anyone go to Aaron Turner's X account, and there's a brief short story of Kaminga's rise of pretty much he raised himself by in America alone since 13 years old.
14,
it's a very interesting story to really show that even as a teenager, he was turning down going to clubs, going to doing foolish things after school. So just give you more perspective of the character. Get Kingslayer on because he doesn't have much time.
Sounds good, Julian. Sounds good. Have a good night. And again, anyone who's trying to smear the character of Kaminga, that is really insane. Like Kaminga's out. The only thing Kaminga's ever done that I can understand maybe having a little issue with was coming out publicly against Kerr back in 2024. And again, they communicated and it went nowhere. At what point are you going to put the onus on the man who's supposed to be the grown-up in the room, Steve Kerr, the guy who's 60 years old, yet who can't even talk to his players? He texts them routinely. It's embarrassing. Let's get Kingslayer Hybrid, who reportedly was at the Utah game. Kingslayer, welcome to the program.
Can you hear me, Cy?
Loud and clear, man. Very clear, yes.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so I was at the game tonight. There's one story that I just wanted to tell you, and then bring up something that you definitely could not see on the cameras.
Okay.
But the first thing is Delta Center is one of those places that gives free chicken if somebody misses 2 free throws right in the fourth quarter.
Chick-fil-A was right?
Yeah. So I'm there with my brother, and he doesn't watch much basketball, but he wanted to go. And so what was it? 1:15 into the fourth. Brandin Podziemski gets up there, and I just look at my brother, and I'm like, if we're ever getting it, we're getting it right now. And of course, he misses the 2 first ones. So my brother just starts freaking out. Dude, imagine my just absolute joy when 1:30 left, Pods gets up there again and does what he does absolute best. Misses both of them again. My brother just goes ballistic and just turns to me. He's like, dude, this guy's a free chicken sandwich machine. It was amazing.
So just to be clear, at the Delta Center, again, the arena where the Utah Jazz play, and I love the fact that the name has stayed the same dating back to like the 90s, because they called it the Delta Center back then, and it was infamous for Michael Jordan winning his final 2 titles against those Jazz teams. His final shot with the Bulls was at Delta Center. But the Chick-fil-A rule, so if a player misses both free throws, everyone gets Chick-fil-A?
Yes. It has to be in the fourth quarter. It has to be in the opposing team as well.
But so as long as it's the fourth quarter and a player goes up there and misses both, you get like your ticket is worth a free Chick-fil-A?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So he did it twice tonight, and everyone was just going crazy. Yeah.
So so it's limitless. So it doesn't stop with just one guy missing both. So in theory, you could win like 10 Chick-fil-A's if a lot of players go up there and break back to back.
I guess I'm not exactly sure about that part, like how long it goes on, but I mean, probably because they watch Brandin Podziemski play, they probably limit it to one.
Amazing.
But yeah, it was pretty funny.
I love Chick-fil-A. It's yummy stuff. So congrats. Well, anything else you see in terms of anything stick out with sideline conduct? Because that's usually what I try to pay attention to when I'm at a game, is what the team is doing. Like, are they talking? Are they happy with each other? Anything stick out to you there, or was it par for course?
It's funny side, because in the past when I go to games, I don't really pay that much attention to that kind of stuff. But tonight I'm sitting there and I'm like, I got to scout this stuff for Cy. I was like, I got to get on there and tell him. So one of the things that I noticed was LJ Cryer was doing a ton of work on his ankles before he came in, and then every time he went to the bench, he just went right into the tunnel. Like, so you could still see him, but he was just right there just doing a bunch of work on his ankles. So
interesting. Okay. I know early in the season he had like a hamstring issue. I've never heard of him having ankle issues, but it wouldn't surprise me. I thought he looked good out there, man. I like Cryer. I think he's a good. He looks like it's someone with some potential moving forward. How did you end up in Utah, brother? Are you from the Bay, or you just happen to be a Warriors fan and you live out in the country? What do you do?
Yeah, so I'm originally from Idaho, but I moved down here for a job, and yeah, so I'm just down here right now.
So when you were in Idaho, were the Warriors your team then?
Yeah.
Cool.
I've kind of just always been a Warriors fan.
Pocatello, Boise. Where'd you commute from? Where'd you come from?
Coeur d'Alene.
Coeur d'Alene, way up there. Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah, it's like 2 hours south of Canada.
It's a beautiful place, dude. Yeah, I was shocked. When I visited Coeur d'Alene the first time, I was not expecting like a town that looked like a resort. It tripped me out a little bit. It's a very nice spot, man.
Yeah.
Why did you leave a beautiful kind of getaway spot for Utah? You said work?
Yeah, I got a job with the Salt Lake City Police Department. So
oh shit. Bravo. So
yeah,
are you now? You're police?
No. I make concealed carry holsters now, but I was working with them for a little while. I just had some back injuries, so decided to move into something else. But
did you get a nice little workman's comp? Did the workman's comp take care of you? Did you get a nice?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm at liberty to say, but
you don't have to. You don't have to. So now you make holsters for concealed carry.
Yeah,
hell of a business, I'm guessing.
Yeah, we get a lot of business. We work with a lot of like police departments and stuff. We did some stuff for the Air Force a while back. So
are you just a B2B company, or do you want to promote what you do for the?
I work there. Like it's like a 6-person company. So, but yeah, it's called Upper Hand Holsters. So everything start to finish is made in the United States. So
beautiful.
It's pretty cool. Everything's all handmade, full American company. So
Bravo. All right. And the company's doing good?
Yeah, we're doing pretty good.
That's a hell of a success story, man. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Mention it one more time, just in case someone out there wants a good holster to walk around with while hiding it, obviously.
Yeah, it's Upper Hand Holsters.
Upper Hand Holsters. Is it just upperhandholsters.com?
Yeah, it's like
Oh, we lost him. I'm gonna look it up real fast.
Sorry.
Oh, you're back. There we go. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
It's so it's Upper Hand Holsters. It should show up pretty quick. It's like a Shopify website. So
oh, this is clean, dude. Hold on, man. I'll give you some love real fast. Hold on. For the YouTube audience, here's what the website looks like. For the podcast audience, just go to upperhandholsters.com right away. You have a 10% off discount right off the bat. Dude, I like this. This is clean, dude.
Yeah, so our owner was in law enforcement for a bunch of years, and yeah, so we got a good group of guys. It's a good time.
Do you make all this in Utah, or where you, is that what
Yeah.
where you're
Yeah,
headquartered?
yep. Just have a little
Dude.
shop that we make everything. But yeah, everything start to finish is made in America. So
My only complaint with guns in general is the price, because a moment like
yeah.
this makes me want to get a second piece, but then I remember I'm like, damn, they're not that cheap. But this is cool. This is very cool, man.
Yeah,
Good
thanks.
stuff. Look at that. Look at that. Bravo, dude. Is it on?
Yeah,
Can you? Yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, yeah, we build them to be super user friendly, so you can
I hope so.
you can move belt clips around, you can set retention yourself. Yeah.
I love it. Good reviews. Congratulations, man. Upperhandholsters.com, or just Google Upper Hand Holsters. You even have like apparel. Dude, if you send me a shirt, I'll wear it. You can get some free advertising. That's up to you though. Only got a hat. Is this the only color for the hat? Just beige?
As of right now, yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I'll text you. I'll see if we can get you something.
Yeah, or just email me. The email address is right here, warriors24pod@gmail.com. Yeah, hit me up, man. Send me something. I'll happily wear it on the shirt. This goes for everyone. I am not shameless when it comes to plugging your company. If you toss me a freebie, yeah, summer's around the corner, man. I'll be wearing some tees every once in a while on the show. Dude, congrats on this. I'm really. It is not easy to start a business. It's even harder to maintain its success. And the fact that you're doing that alone deserves kudos, respect. Congrats, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, that deserves some accolades. I was going to play a soundbite if there was one for that, but I don't think I have one that's good for just other. I mean,
You like it in juice, eh?
do you want to substitute the juice as a gun? Yeah, I like the juice. Give me some juice. All right, brother. Anything else you want to add before we set you loose?
No, I didn't think so. I think just kind of from like a bench aspect, like Steve Kerr seemed pretty just unentertained the entire time. Just pretty pretty basic. So
was Steph there? I didn't see him on the TV screen tonight. Yeah, I didn't think so. I think he's still back home.
No, yeah, there was barely any players there, to be honest.
That's crazy. That's crazy. And you did not get any exciting Draymond Green moments. Part of me wonders if at this stage of his career and where the Warriors team is at as a whole, if that's maybe the fans are subconsciously wanting that. They're like, come on, Dre, just kick him in the nuts. Just do something that excites us, because what else are we rooting for here? All kidding aside. Yeah.
There kind of was when he threw, I can't remember who he threw that ball at when he started falling out of bounds and they kind of shoved him. Yeah, the crowd started going crazy then, but
I love it. Well, if are the Jazz your team or the Warriors your team? Who's your team?
Oh no, it's definitely the Warriors.
Okay.
I was gonna tell you too, and I think I've told you this in the past, but when like at least here at the Delta Center, it's probably 50-50.
You're telling me half the fans there tonight were Warriors fans?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
No,
it's like that every time.
No,
actually, in the past, if Steph's there, there's usually more Warriors fans than Jazz.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The Jazz are just like something to go like watch and like see, but it's just like a family event, basically.
You guys are going to be good against, especially if you end up getting if the Jazz get a top 4 pick and they add that to what they already have. Like they're on the verge of being interesting, because like I don't know where Ace Bailey was tonight. I was kind of looking forward to watching him play, but I don't know, is he hurt? I don't know what happened to Ace Bailey. But he's an exciting player. Keontae George is an exciting player. I mean, Lowry Markkanen, Walker Kessler, Jaren Jackson Jr., that's your front court next year, and we barely saw them play this season. The Jazz could have a fun product as soon as next year, but yeah, what's going on with the Warriors is a whole other beast.
I gotta say, and then I'll jump offside, but one last thing. I've said this in the chat before, but there probably is not a better player in the NBA than Pods when it comes to just running from one side of the court to the other and then just picking up the ball with nothing to do with it. Like, you have to admit, Cy, like he is the best at it.
I'm never going to criticize his energy, his aggression. There's no doubt like that part of his game is fantastic. If every player in the NBA had his exuberance for basketball. I think life would be interesting in terms of consuming the NBA product. But you're right, dude. Like he has all this energy, and especially when he gets a rebound and he starts a defensive rebound and he starts pushing the ball down the court, he just goes nowhere. He'll dribble really hard. It's like I don't know if and maybe that's why the assist numbers are so bad, because he doesn't have good peripheral vision. I don't know what's going on, but it's exactly like you said, man. He'll push the ball, but his head's down most of the time, and then he dribbles until he can't go anywhere, and then he just passes it out. And it's just like a fresh possession at that point, except you lost all those seconds from the shot clock, so your offense is in large ways at a disadvantage. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. Anyways, congrats on your company again. One more time, Upper Hand Holsters, and thanks for coming on, brother. Appreciate you.
Yeah, man.
Have a good night, dude. Coming to us live from the Delta Center, the home of the Utah Jazz, getting some added perspective from the scene. Armando Laura, the professor, dropping another $4.99. Appreciate you, brother. Saying the Steve Kerr fan base deserves Podziemski re-signed at a figure befitting of a 35-minute-a-night player. Plus, Steve Kerr should get a multi-year contract extension. Make their bed to sleep in it. Night, night. Bravo. Bravo as always, Professor. Carl, welcome to the program. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
All right, thanks. What's on your mind?
I'm just frustrated with Draymond Green and his lack of performance when we got I think it's box score tonight, probably 6 players in double figures, and he's just not doing
it gets better, Carl. It's even better than that. And we touched on this at the beginning of the show. 11 players played for the Warriors tonight total. 8 of the 11 scored in double figures. The 3 players who did not, one was Malachi Leons, who had 0 points, literally, nothing. Another one was Pat Spencer, who also had 0 points tonight. And then Draymond Green, who had just 6. Everyone else scored in double figures. Wild stat line.
It's crazy. And he's sucking up $20 million a year, roughly. And he gets a large leash from Kerr. And that's why I think part of the problem is the coach and him put together. And it's just like this revolving door of problems where they feed off each other. And then it's almost like the Lakers when LeBron is out, it's like a whole different team. And then when Draymond's out, it's a whole different team, and everybody's got a pep in their step and everybody's doing good. And then it's just sad to see a loss with 3 points on the table when you're like, dang, dude, you can't break 10 yet again.
It's bad. Draymond, by the way, was I feel like now's a good time to play this. So Draymond was a guest recently on, I'm trying to figure out what the name of the show was that he was on. What is the name?
I forgot what it was too, but I do remember he called us losers. And it's like, if you're gonna
no, that's not exactly. Hold on. The show was called Unguarded. Oh, this is Fred VanVleet's podcast. All right. So Draymond Green was on, because most basketball players have their own podcast. Draymond Green was on Fred VanVleet's. And Carl, do you mind if we play this right now?
Yeah, go ahead.
So the clip I want to play for you has to do with what I think you're referencing here, Carl, which is Draymond just being really peeved with a significant section of the Warriors fan base. The noise has been getting louder and louder from a lot of fans who just want him gone, right? And I think the patience with him started to run thin after the Jordan Poole punch. And then with each year that passes, it's just the grumblings get louder and louder. Draymond's never been someone who's notorious for high offensive outputs. He's never been honestly notorious for doing anything if Stephen Curry is on the court, not on the court.
Exactly.
The 2016 and 2021 Olympics notwithstanding, but those Olympic runs, he was surrounded again with Olympians. So I guess what I'm trying to say is when he's in a situation surrounded by elite talent and he's got a specific role, which is defense and facilitating offensively, he's fine. But the moment like Steph's on the court and the moment he's suddenly one of the best players on the court, it doesn't look that good. And so you have a lot of fans who are upset with him, right? And a lot of fans who think that the $25+ million he takes up in the salary cap is money not well spent. And Draymond hears the noise. In case you missed this, we brought it up on the show repeatedly. Draymond loves using the Threads app. He doesn't use Twitter. I haven't seen him on Twitter in ages, but he's on Threads all the time. And he particularly likes to go on Threads after games. So it wouldn't surprise me if right now, literally at this moment on Threads, he's tweeting shit or posting shit. This is his time to do it. And so Draymond is seeing the noise. He's hearing the noise clearly. All these players do. Steph, even though, Kevin Durant is the ultimate extreme end of a professional athlete in their social media usage. I mean, Durant's psychotic, but all these guys are on there at least seeing what's happening. Stephen Curry has notoriously said that he uses social media as fuel for just extra energy and motivation to play on the court. Well, Draymond, again, he sees the noise. He's not happy with a lot of Dub Nation. And he was on this show, Fred VanVleet's show, where he said this about the fan base. And I just closed it. Give me 1 second. Here we go. So here is Draymond Green, again, talking about the Dub Nation in 2026. And he doesn't sound like a very happy guy. Here is Draymond Green.
It's that simple. I see fans saying different shit now. Like, I'll see Warriors fans like, yo, it's time to get him out of here.
That's crazy.
And to the real Warriors fans that don't feel that way, thank you. I appreciate it. To the ones that do feel that way, like you was a loser before I got here. Like fucking like stone cold forever losers.
Yeah, right.
So if you say that, it makes sense to me. You never been here. Right? So you don't know how to appreciate something for its entirety because you never been here. You never had the opportunity to do that. So great, I'll be the test run, right? Like this, hopefully, I love this organization. I was telling somebody the other day, I'm lucky that like, it's that simple.
The clip cuts off there, but basically what Dre is saying is to the fans who are hating on him right now, you forget what it was like before I got here. That's the ultimate message that I think Dre is saying. He also clearly is very unhappy hearing that stuff. With all that said, Cody, what was your reaction to Draymond basically calling a certain section of the fan base losers because they're not appreciating what he has brought to the team?
Carl,
sorry, Cody. I meant Carl. I apologize.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of get what he's saying, but for me, I mean, it's a little bit of a cop-out in a sense because I grew up, I mean, I'm 38 years old, so I grew up, when I was young, I was watching, the old Jordan, Shaq, and Kobe coming up and stuff like that. So when I hear that kind of stuff, I just remember as all these guys got older and their play wore down, they didn't talk about, well, remember what I did for you in 92, or, when 2011, 2012, Kobe was playing with Ryan Kelly and Tariq Black and an old Paul Gasol. He wasn't going, well, don't forget when I three-peated with Shaq. I mean, it's all about what you are right now. And right now, you're soaking up $20 million for the team. You're underperforming, your defense ain't there, and you're going on podcasts talking about the good old days. I mean, we could all do that. And I think that's really the main problem. I mean, if you would go up there and you'd be more humble about it, I think he would come off a lot better to the people. But when you go in front of everybody and you're talking smack like you were Allen Iverson or you were Kobe Bryant, and it's like you were never that guy to begin with in your prime, and now you're getting outperformed by bench players. Well, then it's like you gotta take a look in the mirror and go, maybe I do gotta take a step back. Maybe I gotta do what some of these older greats did and be a leader off the bench type thing. But if he wants to keep going out there and being the guy that wants to D up Jokic, well, then when you get 38 dropped on you, then own that. Don't go on a podcast talking about, well, what I did in 2017. That's my whole point, is that, you know, we're in 2026. And so you got to be the best player for your team right now. And if you can't go out there and be that center no more, well, then lean on Guy, lean on, you know, your other players and be that leader off the bench. But don't go on a podcast talking about who you were in 2017 when you're not even close to that person right now. That's kind of my whole thing, because even Kobe and all the other great leaders, they had to kind of learn when to take their foot off the gas and become the person in the backseat. It's a hard job to do. And even Curry has kind of found a way to do that. And I think Draymond is the one still grappling with the past, and that is hurting his team.
I no pushback here. I want to, here's, if you don't mind hearing my take on this real fast. Dre, by any chance, and Dre knows I love him, but I think what Dre more specifically is really upset about, and I could be wrong on this, I'm just trying to read the tea leaves here in terms of everything that's going down. There is a certain sect of the fan base, and this is where we're going to strongly agree to disagree if you're a part of this group, who thinks that the Warriors dynasty should not credit Dre or could have existed if Draymond Green doesn't exist. And that to me is one of the biggest falsehoods imaginable. That includes the 2022 final. I know he got benched in the NBA finals, and the NBA finals that year was the first time we actually saw a chink in Draymond Green's armor. But with all that said, like, I'm never going to ignore what Draymond did for this dynasty, for any of the 4 championships. I'm not going to ignore what he looks like when Steph plays. I also want to be pragmatic about it and point out that Draymond and the $25 million that he makes, that $25 million has very little impact on the salary cap as a whole, considering that Steph's making $60 million approximately, and Jimmy Butler has about 55. He's in that range. Those two alone take up so much of the salary cap. Draymond's 25. While it's a lot of money, it's the team is over the cap with or without it, is what I'm trying to say. Now,
I hear you.
And so I'm not a part of the group that's saying like, oh man, this team would have been fine without Dre and all that. Now with all, like, that's, to me, that's malarkey. But with all that said, where we're at currently right now, and this is no surprise, man. We saw this version of Dre in the 1920 season when Steph only played 4 or 5 games. He's never been someone who excels when Stephen Curry is not on the court.
Sure.
And so when I see Dre play, and I see him with Steph, without Steph, yeah, it's 2 entirely different players. Like, I don't get, like, I guess what I'm trying to say is, I don't get why he's playing right now. Like, why are you not coming up with excuses to just let him take a vacay with his children? Let him be, like, you know, a vocal leader who's not on the court. I don't understand the Draymond Green minutes currently. Like, he's already under contract next year, so it's not like he needs to fight for a new deal. He's going to make, 27, 28 million next year if he exercises that player option, unless he went to Steve Kerr, because those two clearly are very tight. And he told Steve, hey man, I need minutes so I can prove that I can not exercise that player option and maybe try and get one more contract. Again, that might be his mindset. He wants to get one more contract, something like 3 years, 50 million or something like that. I don't know. Who knows what he's thinking moving forward. In the history of this game, do players retire when they should? Typically, no. Usually players want to keep playing until the wheels fall off. And that's almost single-handedly the biggest reason why you don't see players usually finish their careers with one team, because they just want to keep playing even when they suck ass and everyone can see it but them. They lose self-awareness. And so they'd rather, again, go out when no one else is willing to give them money. Chris Paul is a perfect example of that, right? The dude finally retired this year because no one will offer him a contract. And if Draymond Green is going to try to play that game where he just keeps going until, like, no one's going to pay him anymore, I don't know how he finishes his career with the Warriors, because the Warriors are not going to be giving him big deals moving forward. It's not going to roll like that. And maybe more importantly, like you're saying, and I think a lot of people are saying, he doesn't help the Warriors a lot when Steph is not there. his value is diminished tremendously if he's not playing a role to support a superstar. That is his value.
I think part of it is because no matter what anybody thinks about him, he has a rap for being a slightly dirty player, and you can get away with that a lot more when you're making the NBA millions of dollars and you're the star, the golden boy of the league. And so I think a little bit of that luster is wearing off. And so, that's where part of it is on the upper management and the coaching staff to go, listen, dude, you don't got that same leash that you used to have in 2018, 2019, and it's hurting the team or whatnot. And so I just think that, I don't know if it's, they say he's got a great IQ, and I feel like somebody who's got a great IQ should know when to step back a little bit. But like when you're saying it's hard when you're a winner and a champion to do that. But if Kerr can't do it or someone up top can't do it, the number nerds and all the plus minus crunchers, the numbers are kind of staring you in the face. So they're going to have to accept it sooner or later is the real reality of it. So the sooner they want to come to terms of it, probably the better it's going to be for the whole organization. I think anyway.
I agree. No pushback. Sharia, been a minute. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Good, thank you. Good to see you, man.
Thank you, guys.
Here. Cody, any final or Carl? I keep calling you Cody. I'm sorry, Carl. Any final thoughts as we wrap it up here? I think you made some great points tonight.
Oh no, that was it. I think I got it off. Thanks for having me.
Of course, dude. Carl, have a great night. Sharia,
Yes.
what have you been up to? And what are your thoughts on the current Warriors who are? My guess is they are tanking, but they're doing their damn best to not make it obvious. If by some chance they're not tanking, then they're even dumber than I thought. What is your takeaway from the Warriors the last few weeks? At least Seth came back tonight.
That was nice. That was a pleasant surprise. My take, we're a sucker ass team and I don't like it. And that's just the truth. We played a sucker ass game against a sucker ass team, and we are a sucker ass team. And it's just, it's awful. It is awful to watch, but I still tune in. I tune in. I have been hanging out over there in the Hawks chat on the Hawks podcast, voicing my opinion about Kaminga and trying to get to know their players, like who plays what, how they play, learn their system, if they have a system. Because the reality of it is I'm watching both teams. I'm a Warriors fan, but they're not the only team that I watch. I love basketball, so I'm watching other teams too.
Well, when your main team is this bad, you kind of have to adopt a second team just to keep your interest going. So the Hawks are like your adopted second child. Fair?
I have a couple of teams. It's not just the Hawks.
I
watch the Knicks. I do like the Rockets. Of course, I watch the Nuggets. And, it's like a few other teams. I love the game.
I love the game too. Well said. So what are you learning? The Hawks are back in action tomorrow. They host the Dallas Mavericks. Kaminga has missed the last two Hawks games with left knee soreness. I think that partly precautionary, partly, look, when an athlete is just waking up and his knees have swelling in it, there isn't much you can do, right? Especially when that player is relying entirely on athleticism. I don't know what his status is for tomorrow. Let me look up the NBA injury report real quick again to see if that's been listed. The Warriors injury report for tomorrow is currently not available. But what are you learning? I guess let's start with Quinn Snyder. Well, do you have any insights on how you could properly label his offense, if any label? Maybe it's just
I don't have a label yet. I think they're still trying to work it out. They have a lot of good players, a lot of young players. They have a lot of energy. I just think they're trying to develop a system with the new pieces. But otherwise than that, I like what I'm seeing.
Oh yeah,
I don't have a problem. I think they're resting JK. They don't need him right now, right? So I think they're taking their time.
And he's listed as questionable for tomorrow's game. Still dealing with that knee bruise that he suffered when he was with the Warriors. That's where the swelling is coming from, is because of the knee not fully healed from that yet. So questionable for tomorrow. We shall see. I agree with you. I think there's no rush. That team has a lot of good pieces. It's not just JK.
Right.
Doing great things for him. But I feel you. So I know. You look at the Hawks, and they're young. They've got athleticism. They've got size. They've got star. I mean, Jalen Johnson is turning into a legit star. And then the Kaminga piece of it is like, who knows? We'll see. But just the fact that they have all this upside to be excited about. Now, there is one piece of negative news, and Shreya, maybe you don't think it's negative at all. I think it's negative. I've never been big on the whole Puritan mindset. Like to me, there's just way too many restrictions in life when it comes to personal freedoms and just having fun socially. And what I'm trying to say here is Magic City. The Hawks had this promo set up. They've got these hoodies that were flying off the shelves, figuratively speaking. And this Magic City night, and this is an institution that is very well known in Atlanta. It is a strip club, but they also got some damn tasty lemon pepper wings that all I want to do is try these things now. The NBA stepped in with their bullshit Puritan values and canceled it. I'm not happy about that, Shreya. What are your thoughts?
I don't know. I mean, it is Atlanta culture. Like going to the strip club is like going to the club. They don't only have good lemon pepper wings, they have good mac and cheese too.
Hell yeah.
And good lobster tails too.
I imagine the whole buffet is delicious.
Yeah, they have really good food, and they do Uber Eats because they're open really late. But that's just Atlanta culture. It's not necessarily like, I mean, I guess the rest of the world is like strip club. But in Atlanta, all the strip clubs are just the club. It's just the club, you know?
It's a venue. Yeah.
It's a venue. Now, my opinion, I mean, just because it is a strip club and you do have kids that are at the games, not saying that they were going to have poles on the court. Right. But the association, I mean, you got to think about it. Like the NBA is a corporation. It is about appearances. They do have stakeholders. You know, they do have people that have invested in that team. So it's like maybe they didn't all come on the same page and agree, you know? We know Luke Cornett didn't want it, but like maybe some of their investors had an issue, you know? I don't know.
Well,
it's business.
It wasn't Atlanta that had the issue. It was somebody in the corporate offices in Secaucus, and where the NBA is
probably, you know, and they're not wrong for that, you know. I think there's a time and a place.
Yeah, fair. I'd be curious if they bothered to even ask the employees of Magic City what they thought about it. I mean, you know, like
for some reason, I got a sneaky feeling they wouldn't mind.
Yeah, agreed. That's why I'm wondering. It's like who's objecting to this, you know, and. Yeah. Anyways, again, that's just never been my cup of tea. Is bowing down to the influence of the social conservatives. That's a hard, like, that is not my cup of tea. But that's just me. I digress. Sorry to make it political here for a split second, but yeah. So the Atlanta Hawks, even though they're not going to have officially a Magic City celebration, damn, do they have some magic there with the talent? And that includes Jonathan Kaminga. Are they going to, like, in your opinion, real fast, or to talk so much about the Hawks? But you're following it closely. I'm following it casually. Like, do they have the makings of a team that can at least, you know, make some noise in the first round? What do you anticipate their postseason looking like?
I think they can make some noise. Do I think they're going to win the East? Probably not. No. Not this year, but I do think they can make some noise. I mean, they're a really strong team. They just need structure.
To me, if they get out of the play-in, that's a win.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like if they finish as one of the top 8 teams and they're in a 7-game first round series, your season is a success, I think. And if you get to that point, it's going to get damn difficult because for the first time in a lot of years, at least the East has a semblance of respectability at the top end of the conference. There's a handful of teams now that are real, that are respectable.
The Pistons were doing great, and you see what's happened to them. They've taken
I mean, hopefully that's just that might be just a slide. I know they've lost 4 in a row, but at the same time, they have a 4-game losing streak. The Celtics get Jason Tatum back, and they suddenly look like real title contenders again. They were already looking really good before Tatum came back. The Knicks could be something, maybe, you know, but they have to at least be given some respect, generally speaking. I mean, I'm personally not going to sleep on Jalen Brunson. I respect it, the ever living shit out of it.
Don't sleep on the Knicks.
Don't sleep on the Knicks. Exactly. And then a lot of people are suddenly feeling really good about the Cleveland Cavaliers again, ever since they made the trade to get James Harden. It's like a 9-day situation there. I don't think they're going to do shit in the postseason, but they might get out of the first round, and then who knows what happens after that. But I guess all I'm trying to say is that the East that has a few respectable teams. What is your take on the Hornets, by the way? Because suddenly you have a lot of people treating the Hornets like they are a contender.
They play hard. They play hard.
And they got talent.
Yeah.
They've got, I believe, let me look this up, because I believe I heard somewhere that that the Hornets 5-man lineup of LaMelo Ball, Miles Bridges, Brandon Miller, Knipple, and who's the center? Is it Ibontu? I forgot how you pronounce his name. That 5, and I'm looking this up right now so I can confirm this, supposedly have the best net rating of anyone in the NBA. And I'm looking this up right now just to confirm it. So the number 1 5-man lineup in the NBA right now. Okay, so they're up there. I'll give you the hold on a second. Oh no, they are number 1. That's crazy. So this is crazy. The number 1 5-man lineup in the NBA right now: Miles Bridges, LaMelo Ball, Diabate. I apologize for mispronouncing his name. Brandon Miller, Knipple. They, as a 5-some this year, have played 322 minutes together, and they are a plus 188. To give you some perspective on how that ranks with the second best 5-man lineup: number 2, Rudy Gobert, Julius Randle, Dante DiVincenzo, Anthony Edwards, Jaden McDaniels. They've played almost double the minutes of that Hornets group, 663, but they are a plus 134. That's a difference of 54 points in terms of net rating. Like that's staggering to me. I don't know what, and then tied for second. I'm sorry, there's one other grouping here. So 3 groupings of 5-player lineups have above plus 100. Only 3. The 2 I just mentioned, and then the third one is Tobias Harris, Duncan Robinson, Cade Cunningham, Jalen Duren, Ozzer Thompson. Also a plus 134. They played 490 minutes together. Side note, the Pistons 4-game losing streak, Cade Cunningham did sit out one of those 4 games just to rest. And then I think Ozzer Thompson's also been out with an injury. So those are some big pieces that they've been missing. I guess what I'm trying to say with the Pistons is I'm not going to read too much into that 4-game losing streak. It's their first kind of slide of a season. It's rare, if ever, for a team to go from beginning to end of an NBA season without having any dips, any moments where the success isn't typically there, and usually good teams figure it out right away and they regroup. But do you have any takeaways on the fact that those 3 5-sums are far and away better than everyone else in the NBA right now?
No, they play good. I mean, I watch East Coast basketball and West Coast basketball, always have, and they are good. They're a good team. And the Celtics, I will say this, the Celtics were clicking before Tatum came back. I don't know who those people are. I've never seen half of the players on the team, but they're good and they play hard.
Well, part of the reason why the Celtics have been as good as they are is because the last 2 years, their draft picks, their first-round draft picks, they both were like right at the end of the first round. I think one of the picks was the 30th pick. That was because they won the title 2 years ago, and then they followed that with a very high pick again. It was something like 28th. Those 2 players were Hugo Gonzalez and Baylor Shireman, and those 2 players are contributing. So when you hit on your late first round picks, like Boston did for 2 years in a row, that's going to bode well for your success. You also have Derek White, who's still who's turned into like this uber elite defensive player. He just won Defensive Player of the Month. Look, Sam Hauser, I don't know what to tell you about that, but Peyton Pritchard has turned into an elite wing. Neemias Queta has turned into an unbelievably solid center in this game. they've got some pieces there, man. I'm impressed. Nikola Vucevic, by the way, breaking, I believe, his hand or wrist. He's going to be out for a month plus, but yeah, they've got some real talent on that team. And then the Pistons, Ozzer Thompson. So as you just mentioned, as someone in the chat mentioned, they had a 4-game losing streak. Again, that lost to Brooklyn. They were missing Cade Cunningham. Now you could, and then Ozzer Thompson has been missing some time. And Ozzer, again, his brothers Amin, they're twins. There isn't a huge disparity between the two.
Right.
I mean, Ozzer is as elite as it gets in terms of lengthy, athletic wings who are just as, again, top of the line defensive players. And so when you're missing that, I'm going to give a little leeway to a basketball team if you're don't have your best players suiting up. But yeah, the East to me is interesting. And then so the Hawks, we bring it all back to them. The Hawks are currently the 9 seed in the East right now. The Magic would round out the top 6 in the East, and then the Miami Heat are 7, the Philadelphia 76ers are 8, Atlanta's the 9 seed, the Hornets are the 10 seed. And only 2 of those teams are going to come out of that play-in. And what I'm trying to say is if the Hawks get out of the play-in and they schedule a first round a playoff series against either Detroit or Boston, they're not going to win that series. I think just getting there is a success. My take. I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know. I never say never.
Nobody. Well, I'm not asking if that's going to happen. I'm asking if the Hawks make it just to that. Like if they're a first round team and then they exit, is that still a successful year for you?
I mean, yeah, I just started watching them. So, I mean, yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, I do.
I feel like next year is more important than this year for the Hawks.
Big time. 100% agree with you there. And then Hamza in our chat bringing up the fact of the Warriors with this loss tonight, dropping to 32-32. Again, they're 500. What I did not notice until he pointed this out is that there is another team in the Western Conference who's also 500 with a 32-32 record. 2 teams in the West, identical 32-32 records. The Golden State Warriors and the LA Clippers. The LA Clippers started this season 6-21, and they are now 32-32. So that means they've gone, what is that, 26-11? That's a damn good run. Anyways, the Clippers are now the 8 seed. The Warriors are now the 9 seed. We'll break that down in more detail in just a moment. But Sharia, do you have any thoughts on the fact that the Warriors are now the 9 seed? And if the season ended today, they would be playing a single elimination play-in game hosting the Portland Trailblazers. And if there's anything going for the Warriors, it's that Deni Avdija has been injured for a while, and I don't know if he's going to even come back, which might give the Warriors some hope there. But what are your thoughts on the fact that the Warriors are now the 9 seed in the West?
Not surprised. We asked for this. We requested it, literally. So I'm not surprised.
Deni Avdija is active. Okay, I thought I heard somewhere that he was dealing with some injuries, but I guess he's back. Warriors are screwed, if that's true, which would be a good thing, I think. NBA draft is 4 damn good players coming out. I wouldn't mind the Warriors being in the running for one of those 4 picks. Do you watch college hoops at all? Do you have any thoughts on?
No, I haven't watched. I haven't watched in years, but I will say this. I know we talk about the draft and what's coming up, what we could possibly get and what position we're in. The fact still remains. If we don't play them and we don't develop them, then what? We still have the same people steering the ship.
I know. Well, hopefully that won't be the case next year. We can only hope, right, Sharia? I mean, that's sometimes all we got.
I mean, I like hope, but I like real. And the reality of it is,
but I think
same people at the top are there. So it's like we've seen this narrative time and time and time and time again. I'm just not doing that to myself. I'm not doing that to myself.
I hear you. Well, I do think there is some reality behind the hope that Steve Kerr won't be back next year. We shall see.
Well, if Steph's there, Steve Kerr and Draymond are going to be there. I do believe that he's aligned with him. And I could be wrong. I don't have any proof, but I'm just saying it feels like he's aligned with his timeline.
no pushback there. My hope is that Joe Lacob does not agree with whatever those three want, right?
I know.
In other words, we know that those three want to go out together. Good luck. But Steve Kerr is going to ask for nearly $20 million to keep that trio together. And what I'm hoping for is a semblance of sanity, of rhyme and reason from a front office who clearly can see that Steve Kerr has no interest in developing talent. And so if you bring this back another year, you might have Stephen Curry not play at all. I mean, I guess that's the biggest part of this, that I can't see a front office just rolling the dice with this group again, is Stephen Curry hasn't played in like a month and a half. I've lost track of how many games he's missed. There are zero assurances that he's going to play next year. I mean, like, how can you assume that Steph is going to be available for even half of the 82 games next year when he's going to be turning 39? I don't know. I can only hope that the front office sees that and goes, look, we love Steph. He's here as long as he wants, but he's not going to get his coach every year if he's going to be a 39-year-old who doesn't play most of the time. And then Draymond, whatever, he's going to be under contract regardless. But am I making sense to you, Sharia, in terms of why maybe I'm a little hopeful? Or are you dead set on Kerr's coming back if Steph's coming back? You don't think there's any hope whatsoever otherwise?
I go by what you show me. That's the type of person I am. If you show me who you are, I believe you. And they've shown us years ago. So
that is fair. Let's bring I think this is Cam. Cam, are you with us? He's muted. Okay, I see Tim of the City, but his device is not connected. Cam's connection is not working. Friendly reminder, folks, donate to Cam's Save Stephen Curry's Legacy GoFundMe. That's the QR code right there. We want to get a real fan into Chase Center, sitting right behind Steve Kerr, and that's what Cam is aiming for. Donate to the cause and support the man, because that would be hilarious. It would be absolutely amazing to have an actual Steve Kerr critic sitting close to him. So for once in his life, that man can hear boos, which should have been happening a lot sooner. Oh, no, Cam's there now. Let's see. Let's try again. Cam, you're with us, right?
What's up, man? What's up? My bad. I was trying to get in there. What's going on, though, man?
You're good? What's up?
For sure. We got to stop this nonsense with Pods, man. He should not be getting no 35 minutes a game. I can't wait to see what 95-7 game got to say with those 2 missed free throws in clutch time. Oh, no, Pods is good. Pods is he's doing everything that they're asking him to do. Everything. Why the fuck are we asking him to do everything? We should not be. He should be doing the minimum. We got Seth back.
Cam, who's a bigger Podziemski stand?
Draymond.
Is it 95-7 the game, or is it KNBR?
I don't really catch KNBR too much. I forgot his name, but he just made me so mad. He used to, I think John Middleton, it might be his name. I don't know, somebody on there. I stopped watching
JD.
But,
Uncle Fester.
Yeah. He asked, but
no, he is. He's awful. He is awful when it comes to Warriors analysis. Like his whole analysis is, well, Steve Kerr said this, so I agree. That's it. That's his whole show. It's like, Steve Kerr believes this, so it must be true. That's the show. That's the Uncle Fester show. I mean, whatever it's embarrassing is what it is. Yeah. And so I'm wondering, like, which one of those two stations has less of a face buried in Steve Kerr's booty?
I think it was like the morning show KNBR. Like, I was watching them for a little bit. They was actually keeping it real. I don't know if that changed or not, but they was keeping it real a little more than 95-7. Because, like, Willard and Dibbs, they just ride the coattails. It's something crazy.
What's on your mind, brother? That's the QR code. We're trying. I don't know what the amount is up to you.
It's like $25.
$25? God damn it. Hold on. Let me open the page. Let me open the page here. So maybe a visual.
Does Cryer and the young guys, the two new other Leon, he not proving himself that much, but can they play in the playoffs?
Not this year. No.
Cryer looks like he needs to be in the playoffs.
No, they can't. Two-way players are not eligible for postseason minutes, so no.
Oh,
Can we cut somebody and put them on, or they not gonna do that? Or can they do that?
They won't do
They
that.
won't.
They're not gonna do it, but can they do that?
Yes,
We
because
don't
they
get
have
like
one-
we don't get like an extra roster spot for Jimmy.
They have no. You'd have to apply for the injury exception. I'm guessing it's too late for that. I think they could in theory, but I don't think the interest is there because it would cost the Warriors more money to pay an extra guy a guaranteed slot. Now the Warriors do have a 15th roster spot open, so I think technically they could just sign one of these guys to a guaranteed deal without doing anything else. In theory,
Pryor or Williams, like I like Williams because of the height,
like
but Pryor
Williams,
got
too.
that shot. But we got Seth back, so you see he came in, instantly started making threes. Like, okay, Pods, time to go. Seth here. I know the defense not the same, but the offense 10 times better.
Yeah.
agreed.
Mm-hmm.
So this is your GoFundMe page. Let me share my screen right now. So folks can check out what you're trying to raise money for.
Sure.
And again, damn it, you only got 25. So you're 2% there. We got to make a bigger push for this. We got to make a bigger push for this, folks.
Draymond really had 2 good games, and he went straight to podcasts and went straight to doing interviews. Like, no, we knew this was going to happen. You had 2 good games and think you could talk mess now. We losers because we could see with our eyes what you're doing right now. We love you. We're not talking about what you did back in the day. We're talking about right now.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
I love the description he wrote for this. Save Curry's legacy. Kerr must be fired. He is ruining Curry's chance for 6 to 7 rings. My goal is to get a seat right behind Steve Kerr and the team and simply yell the truth about Kerr's terrible coaching decisions. Small ball, horrible lineups and rotations, pulling players when they're on a heater, ruining their momentum, playing players out of position, causing injuries. In bold, he must be stopped. Send me to the game to bring national awareness to this travesty.
Right.
Folks, help this man out. He has only raised $25. I didn't put my name on it. One of those 3 is mine. Thomas Irving, you deserve respect because you put your name. You were the first donor. Thomas Irving, whoever you are there. But he needs more help.
You could donate a ticket too. You ain't got to be money. You could donate a ticket.
A good ticket. I mean,
yeah, behind Kerr ticket.
Like, because it defeats the purpose if it's a shitty ticket.
No. Yeah, you got to be behind Kerr. Like if it's any season ticket holders that ain't gonna make a game.
You know what we should, Cam? Maybe the time has come for that. Steve Kerr. Let me rephrase that. The title of the episode is going to be when Steve Kerr's gut went wrong.
And we've been waiting for that for months. It seemed like almost a year.
Maybe the time is to do that episode in the next week or so. And I'm trying to look at a good date to figure that out. And we could and the setup for the episode will be as a fundraiser for this. Like, I think that's what we got to do here.
Yeah, you have to market it. You have to market it.
Okay,
exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Well, I can help you with that. I mean, I'm going to do the marketing, and the marketing we'll do an episode again where it's just going to be a historical revisit of every single time Steve Kerr decided to make a big decision.
That might be like a 4-hour show.
What's up?
That might be like a 4 or 5 hour show with all his mistakes.
It could. We'll try to keep it to like 2 or whatever. But the theme of the show will be the goal of the show will be a fundraiser to send you, Cam, to this game because
appreciate that, man, for real.
It's important, dude. I appreciate you, dude. I mean, you're the only person actually putting the effort out to try to be the person, the individual who calls this egregious coaching out, man. I wish you luck, folks. Please save Stephen Curry's legacy. Donate some money. 25 is not enough.
I gotta push back on you, Si. You see what the team could do against OKC, the big bad OKC. I ain't never been scared of OKC. I wanted them in the playoffs. OKC could have messed with us, and we ain't got Steph, we ain't got Moody, we ain't got Will Richard. We could beat anybody in the playoffs with this team. As long as Kerr, sit Draymond, don't give Pods those minutes, play the right players. I know that's a big ask of Steve Kerr. But if he just come to his senses for once in his career, we could win a title this year, just like we could have won last year, the year before that, the year before that, if Kerr wasn't doing these things. And do you see this stuff on Twitter? Oh, JK was stopping Gee from playing because of politics. They both was getting DNPs. They both was sitting down while they had 3-4 guard lineups out there. Don't put these players against each other. Blame who was supposed to be blamed. The people that's putting the 4 guard lineups out there.
Came into our chat at the beginning of tonight's show with a $4.99 donation. Thank you again, Professor, saying, how come Steve Kerr's getting credit for Guy Santos when all he did was bench him until everyone else got hurt or got traded away? Now he's playing him because there was no one else, and he's getting credit. No, Steve Kerr doesn't deserve credit for shit, dude. That is egregious.
Nothing.
That's embarrassing. That is absolutely embarrassing, dude. But here's where I will not agree with you that the Warriors are a real contender regardless, because dude, they don't have Jimmy Butler, man. Like
we don't need Jimmy. We got the best player to ever touch a basketball. If he healthy, he got his little brother with him. We could take it all the way there, man.
That's fair. So that's your reasoning for not tanking, huh? Because it is the hope that Steph comes back. No, what if Steph doesn't come back?
A 14 pick and a 15 pick. The league is not, this rigged. They is not going to give us a top pick. They know what we could do. They do not want to see Steph Curry run this league again. They put in rules against us. They come on, man. They not about to give us nothing. We're gonna be 14 or 15 if we still tank.
I agree with Cam.
I can't disagree. I mean, it's cynical, and I can't believe in the conspiracy thing being real without hard evidence. I'm not saying you're wrong.
They got Wemby. Come on, man. They got Wemby, Tony Parker. You know that was laid up. The Mavs got Cooper after they traded. Come on, man.
I know.
You know what backdoor deals that back going on. You heard Jeremy Lin say they got the call. Take them 2 players out.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not disagreeing with you. I guess I'm just a man of science who needs evidence to believe shit. But with all that said, you're not wrong, man. I can't disagree with you. I guess without hard evidence, I'm gonna hold out a little hope that if the Warriors, let's say, finish with the 10th worst record, that gives them a 14% chance to get a top 4 pick. It doesn't have to be 1. It just has to be the top 4. That's why I'm pushing so hard. And then Armando Laura's cousin in the chat adding the draft is legitimately 9-10 deep. So you don't even need the NBA to rig shit. If the Warriors finish 10th worst, and again, I haven't done my research enough to confirm that, but you do have people saying that this draft is 10 deep, meaning if you finish top 10, you're going to get someone who's special in the draft this year. I don't know. I hear what you're saying too, man.
Curry over that though, yeah, for sure.
None of these are strong opinions for me, dude, because this whole shit is bad. It's crazy. It's pure madness, dude. Like nothing makes sense at all.
Why the hell was Seth not in the game to end the game?
I don't know.
We could have got those 3 points quick in a hurry.
Good question.
Man, this coach is something insane.
Well, Cam, we'll be in touch, man, because I think that's the way to do it.
All right, man. Y'all have a good one, man.
Before you go, the episode needs to drop on a day when the Warriors don't play. And right now we're in March. Side note, congrats. I don't know if you folks love daylight savings being back, but I'm a fan. I know we lost an hour. I don't give a shit, dude. I want longer days. I just hope we keep it like this. With all that said, that was a total random tangent. I'm thinking next week, because we need a little time to get this GoFundMe finalized so we send you to a game, right? Because we're going to aim for...
You already got it? You already did it? Or you just got to drop it? Or you still got to make it?
No, I got it. I got all the notes. Like, my research is done. It's been done for ages to do this episode. We just got to actually do it. And we got to make sure it's a day where you're available so we can dedicate this fundraiser to your GoFundMe. I'm thinking either next week.
I'm gonna make it happen. So you good?
I'm thinking next week, either the 17th or 19th, or the week after that, the 24th or 26th. We'll figure it out. We'll be in touch.
Any of those days good for me.
It's time.
All right, man. Y'all have a good night, man.
You too.
Fire Kerr. We gotta stay strong. We gotta go to the games. Go protest in front of Chase. I get 10, 15 people with me. I go sit in front of Chase, and they ain't even gotta play. We just be out there with signs. Somebody will post it.
Somebody got to do it.
Y'all have a good night, man.
Have a good night, Cam.
Have a good night, Cam. That was awesome. Let's send Cam. Go to that GoFundMe, please. The QR code is right there. And let's send a real fan to Chase Center, please. Sheree, is it worth playing any post-game sound from this game tonight?
If you want to, let's go.
Say again, I'm sorry.
I said, if you want to, let's go. Let's hear what Steve's got to say. Well,
let's see if there's anything even worth playing. I mean, after a game like this, let me check what's been published so far. I can't believe the Warriors are. It's been a long ass time since the Warriors were not the 8th seed. It has been a very long. I mean, I feel like the Warriors have been the 8th seed since mid-November. And I'm waiting to see if someone will confirm when the last time the Warriors were not the 8th seed was. It's been months, like many, many months. But yeah, as of right now, the Warriors are the 9 seed. The Clippers currently either winning or leading the head-to-head this year. So the two teams with tied records, the Warriors are the losers in that scenario because of the Clippers getting the head-to-head. The only soundbite that's making the rounds that's available for us to play is one where Kerr is whining about the length of the schedule. I feel like that was an old post, though. I don't even know if that's worth playing. There's like no sound. Hold on, does Slater post anything? You know it's bad when report. Now, granted, again, the Warriors play again tomorrow night, so I know they got out of Utah really fast.
Mm-hmm.
Slater wasn't even in Utah tonight. Isn't that interesting? He was in Denver. Look at that. The Warriors are becoming so irrelevant that they're sending Anthony Slater to other games. That's bad. That's a bad look. Okay, let's not hear from so we have two options here. This is courtesy of Sam Gordon of the San Francisco Chronicle. Sam, beside note, might join us in the near future. Him and I were chatting the other day. Do you want to hear, Sharia, from Steve Kerr saying that the Warriors never got control of Utah defensively, highlighting the fact that Utah had 27 free throws? Or this could also be an and/or. We could play both. The other soundbite that we have immediately available for our live postgame show is Seth Curry talking about feeling great to come back. What do you think?
Either or. I'm down for whatever. Either or.
Let's do both. We'll start with Steve Kerr. This was immediately following the game, and I just love hearing his the excuses he makes. And tonight he talks about the Warriors' defense failing them. So let's hear from Warriors head coach Steve Kerr. This was immediately following tonight's 119-116 loss to the Utah Jazz. The Warriors are now a 500 basketball team. They are now the 9 seed. And here is their head coach after the game, Steve Kerr.
Just never felt like we got control of them defensively. They scored 119 on us, 29 free throws. That can't be the case. I mean, we talked about it before the game, taking away the easy stuff. They made 27 points from the line. So too much fouling, too many plays where we were at a disadvantage based on whatever was happening offensively. And then so they outscore us by 13 points at the free throw line. That's the difference in the game.
What'd you make of your shot distribution tonight, the volume from 3?
I mean, we weren't bad offensively. 31 assists, 10 turnovers. That's a great ratio. We took care of the ball. We moved it. I didn't think we got great looks, but we got enough good looks to win. It was our defense that let us down.
Seth, 13 points in 12 minutes. Just what did you make of his debut?
Seth was great.
Sure.
It's really fun to have him out there, and you can light it up in a hurry. And great scoring threat. One of the best shooters in the league. So it was really nice to have him back.
Is the plan for him to play tomorrow as well?
I don't know.
So Steve Kerr bringing up the free throw disparity as evidence that the defense wasn't there. It wasn't actually that much of a disparity. Of the Utah Jazz tonight had 29 free throw attempts. The Warriors had 21, so they had 8 more free throw attempts. The problem is that Utah made 27 of 29 free throws. The Warriors only made 14 of 21. Utah made 93.1% of their free throws. The Warriors made just 66.7%. And who was culpable for that? Who was guiltiest of the free throw disparity? Guy Santos was 2 of 4. Draymond Green, 1 of 2. Brandin Podziemski, 0 for 4. And again, this is where it would have been nice if Steve Kerr was asked about his golden boy and the fact that, again, he underperformed scoring-wise. He missed 4 free throws, 2 of those coming very late in the game. It pretty much sealed the game outright. But instead, reporters are more curious to know if Seth Curry is going to play tomorrow night. And we don't have an answer to that at the moment because Steve Kerr himself did not know. Sharia, any reaction to that?
No, it's obviously getting ready to be the blame game with Steve. I mean, at the end of the day, these kids did not know that they were going to have to carry this goddamn team.
Correct.
They did not have that on their bingo card this year
Correct.
for 2026. They didn't know. Guy Santos didn't know he was going to have to turn into Michael Jordan. Okay? None of them knew that this was going to happen because this man did not prepare them. Because all he did was focus on Steph. When you have the greatest shooter on the floor, Steph. So they don't know how to play without him. And the 1 ounce of structure that we did have was Jimmy Butler. That's gone. Draymond looks pissed. Every time I see Draymond play, Draymond looks like he has worked a double shift.
Yeah.
Like he's worked a double shift. He's huffing and puffing. You know, you could tell he's angry, but trying to play hard, and he's tired. This is not what he signed up for either. These are supposed to be the days where he's not playing as hard because this team should have been developed. But also I fault Draymond too. You knew this team wasn't being developed right under your nose, and you didn't want to sit your fucking ass down.
When Sharia's dropping F-bombs, that's when you know she's pissed.
It just pisses me off because you didn't want to have a seat. You were supposed to take a seat last year and let JK get it going. You're supposed to take a seat this year and let JK get it going, or somebody else besides you. I mean, it's unfortunate that this is happening. I'm not gonna lie, it's unfortunate that it's happening, but I just hate when people act surprised, including Draymond and the rest of them, that this is fucking happening. Like we knew it was gonna happen. Like it was orchestrated this way. This was by design. This was by design. This is not something that just happened. No, we didn't plan for Steph to get injured, but it was kind of like the writing was on the wall. Armando said it. I said it. You said it. Like we all said it. Like we're playing injury basketball from the beginning. From the beginning of the season, we knew he was going to run this man's knees to the ground. And if we don't watch it, we're going to run Milton to the ground too. Because I watch how he plays, and I'm sorry, they're playing him hard. He didn't realize he was going to have to do this either. None of them did. Al thought he was going to play one game and take one game off and chill and cruise. He didn't expect this. He did not. None of them did. So the blame game is going to start. We know whose fault it is, but we're just going to have to sit back and support as much as we can, but not in a way where we can't critique them. I'm sorry. I spend my time. I pay for League Pass. I pay for all this shit to watch the Warriors. I'm on the East Coast, and I don't mean anything to them because I'm just one fan. But my point is, at the end of the day, we have a right to criticize. And the way that they're moving, the way that they have orchestrated it, get ready because that's what we're going to do. I said it when I first came on this show. Don't piss on me and tell me it's raining. Don't do that. Like, this is like, there's social media. We can all see what's happening. Every team sees what's happening. You know, but I'm going to continue tuning in and continue explaining to the Hawks fans over there in their chat on their show exactly what happened. Because they don't know. East Coast coverage, like they don't know anything about what's happened in the Bay. They have no clue. But I don't have a problem letting them know. And I will continue.
I don't either. I love it. That was awesome. Good take there, Sharia. Let's on a lighter note, let's hear from Steph's brother Seth, who played tonight for the first time since I believe, December 7th. The last time we played, it was, I believe, on the road at Cleveland. December 6th was the last time we saw Seth Curry get any minutes, and he did decent tonight. It was 2 of 3 from deep. I love the jokes about the dad bod because he has it.
There's nothing wrong with that. Not a thing wrong with that.
Not there's anything wrong with that. You're right. And so here is Seth Curry. This is also courtesy of Sam Gordon after talking about his first game back and how he felt.
It helps when they give you a wide open shot when you get in there, but been working hard past however many months to try to get back. I don't know if I will make it back at all, but it's good. I got to get my feet wet and try to contribute in whatever way I can.
Oh, I can't hear him.
Like for you, when did you feel something was wrong, and what did you kind of expect from rehab and recovery?
I don't know exactly when. I just popped up one more. I couldn't move at all. Like so, it was like a month time where I couldn't I really couldn't move. I was laying at home, and then just once the pain went away, I was able to rehab and try to get all my movement back. But it's been tough. I mean, kind of got a taste of it a few months ago, and then once again having to watch, but. Stuff I feel like I could have helped with all the injuries and all the stuff going on. I feel like I could have helped throughout the season, put us in a better spot. But we'll be out here and try to close this year positively and get better day by day.
Was it something that happened in that Sixer game?
No, nothing specific. I had minor pain in my back. It just got worse and then just hit this tipping point.
At what
Didn't do anything specific.
At what juncture did you develop confidence that, hey, this thing is turning around and you'll be back this season? At what juncture did you?
I think over the All-Star break, when I made a jump, working on just continue to work on rehab, and made the jump, came back and played some live action. And I feel like that's why I knew I'll be able to get back eventually.
I don't know why I don't have any sound for Seth.
He was speaking low there. You'd have to turn up your volume to fully hear it. Because and again, in case you're unfamiliar with this setting, Seth Curry is in this room with maybe 2 other reporters. The optics of it is always so funny when you're in a visiting locker room. There's the reality of it is he's got this tiny little background. He's sitting in this dinky room that looks like a glorified closet. And my guess is Sam Gordon was there. And maybe Joseph Dykes of the Mercury News, maybe, because we know Anthony Slater wasn't there. So it could have just been him and Sam Gordon. I didn't even see anyone else tweeting clips. But yeah, and it was not connected to the microphone. Folks, if you're at home watching that and you couldn't hear anything, just rewind it, crank up the volume so you can hear Seth. But one takeaway from that was he was asked about
never felt like we got control of them defensively.
What is that from? Is that me or you?
I mean, they scored 119.
I don't know. I don't have any sound on.
29 free throws.
Oh, that's okay. That was me. I'm sorry. What happened there? Anyways, and one thing he said was he was asked about how bad the pain was, and he said early on he couldn't even move. He couldn't get out of bed. And then he said when the pain subsided, then he started the work of coming back, and he revealed that it wasn't until around the All-Star break when he started to think that maybe he could come back, and he admitted there was a possibility he was not going to come back at all. So sciatic nerve injuries just doesn't sound fun. Reminds me a lot of Izzel.
Oh, my neck, my back, my neck and my back. Oh.
Brutal old man injuries. And so the Curry are succumbing to age. They're human just like everyone else. Sharia, any response to that? I know you couldn't hear much of it, but
from what I did hear, it just sounds like he's happy to be back, and he didn't realize he was going to be back, and he's just happy to be back. He knows what's going on. He knows what's going on. That's what I got from that. He knows what's going on
with the dad bod. You think he knows he has a dad bod?
I don't think he minds. When you're in love, you don't give a damn about that.
He's married to Doc Rivers' daughter. I just having a dad bod while being in the NBA and your name is non Nikola Jokic. That part is wild, but
he doesn't mind.
He doesn't mind. That's fair. Tracy McKindle in her chat saying that she sent Sam Gordon an email criticizing his recent Steve Kerr puff piece. I did get that. I was blind copied. I saw your email. Tracy, did he respond to you? I thought it was very well written. You called him out. It was to the point. It was, again, it was articulated clearly. Message came across. Did Sam get back to you on that? And it makes me wonder if other people are emailing these media members as well. They should, because they're reading it. They're definitely getting the message. Whether or not they're getting back to you is a whole other question. But anyways, you want to go through the scoreboard, Sharia, and then call it a night?
Sure.
All right. And if Shardall shows up, we'll throw him a bone and get him on here for a second. But for now, let's go through the scoreboard. I don't think it was a incredibly busy night in the association, and we usually like to get some tunes ratcheted up during this segment. There was someone in the green room that was waiting, trying to get on. I think it was Tim in San Francisco. I think that was your name. But for whatever reason, the connection wasn't strong. It wouldn't let me ever click on you. So please don't think I was ignoring you in there. I don't know what was happening, but we couldn't bring you on for some reason. Again, our apologies if that was on my end. But I didn't do anything. I just couldn't. I literally could not bring you on. All right, let's get some tunes and see what happened in the rest of the National Basketball Association this Monday, March 9th. We start in Cleveland, where the Cavaliers took easy care of the Philadelphia 76ers, 115-101 the final. The Cavs improving to 40-25. The Sixers dropping to 34-30. Quentin Grimes, 17 points in the loss for Philly. James Harden, 21 points in the win. Sharia, how serious of a team are the Cleveland Cavaliers?
I don't know. I took a break from them. I haven't watched them much since they've gotten James Harden, to be honest with you.
So even though they got a player that makes them better, it made them more unwatchable to you.
I'm not a James Harden fan.
I hear it. I'm not either.
I just don't like what Mobley and Jarrett Allen are doing. I expect more, and I wasn't getting enough, so I stopped watching.
The crazy part is, I'm with you. James Harden is borderline unwatchable. Might be not even borderline. He just might be unwatchable. But for that Cleveland team with those two big stiffs, Mobley and Jarrett Allen, my opinion only, but I do think they desperately needed a guy like James Harden, because James Harden, who started his career as your prototypical two guard, is now about as prototypical of a point guard as you will find in the NBA. The transformation has been impressive. And so he was exactly what they needed. But I'm also with you, man. James Harden is just, it's not a good product. Like, in terms of the product, not one I'm personally a huge fan of. So I understand that. What about the Philadelphia 76ers? Because when they look really good, they can be dangerous. But unfortunately, Joel Embiid is rarely, if ever, consistently available. VJ Edgecombe is super young. So I think there's some question marks there. Paul George, I don't think he's come back yet from the 30-game suspension for whatever the hell he got suspended for. But any thoughts on Philly?
I think, Paul George is still suspended. I never relied on Embiid, not this season, because I felt like they were playing good without him. VJ Edgecombe, I wouldn't say is really young, because he's that guy. He's young, but he's still that guy, and he makes a difference. He just happens to be injured. But I do believe, like, without Embiid, they've played well without him. They have played well without him. They just, they have a lot of people that are injured right now, and they need help.
They do. I love what Alazer Ben Israel in her chat writes. Rick Ross's game is weak. James Harden because of the beard and the fat. Speaking of dad bods, James Harden is an interesting cat from a physical perspective, because I've heard from way too many sources behind the scenes to not believe this. James Harden is your prototype for the guy who can party all night and just get up and go and act like nothing. He wasn't fazed by a thing. He's hangover proof. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I've heard that before, but age is catching up with him.
Yeah, it is. But have you ever come, because I've known people in my life who are like that, and truthfully, they kind of annoy me. And that includes one of my best friends on the planet, Jerry Montgomery. If you're out there watching this, I never was a fan of you getting up at 6 a.m. no matter what. Not a cool thing to do. Not a cool thing to do, bud. Still love you though. And it's more than anything, I'm envious of the fact that you can party till 4 a.m. and then 2 hours later, I'm up. Let's go. Like, how do you do that? But it's amazing. James Harden is one of those guys. Dude loves to party, and the partying doesn't faze him. And he loses the fat really quick, too. It's just, he's an impressive specimen. But I do love the Rick Ross joke. Elsewhere in the association, Shreya, is this going over your head or is it making sense? Sorry.
No, I'm with you.
Another game that was completely unwatchable tonight, besides the Warriors and the Jazz, that was the Brooklyn Nets beating the Memphis Grizzlies tonight, 126-115, the final. Day'Ron Sharpe, who has come out of nowhere to be an interesting player for the Brooklyn Nets, 19 points tonight. Rupert. Have you ever heard of a player whose last name is Rupert on the Grizzlies, Shreya?
Nope, and the only Sharp I know is on the Spurs. So,
yeah, Day'Ron came out of nowhere. I don't think he was drafted. I've seen him in too many of these scoreboards as the player of the game nominated by ESPN. So I finally decided to look him up. Now this Rupert guy, his name is Rayon Rupert, and ESPN called him the player of the game tonight. I'll explain why in just a second. He was a second round pick in 2023, 6'7", 205. He's now with the Memphis Grizzlies, who are blatantly, egregiously tanking. And Rayon Rupert tonight played 36 minutes, had 20 points, 8 rebounds, and an assist.
I'll be on the lookout for him.
I wouldn't. A lot of these guys are just randomly showing up in the box score now on these tanking teams, which is one of many reasons why when people are like, dude, but Podziemski had a great game tonight. It's like, yeah, Rayon Rupert sometimes has a great game. All these guys need is opportunities in the NBA. It doesn't mean much. This was a huge game tonight, and it was finished off with an unbelievable game winner by Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, whose, side note, I was very relieved to hear that crazy coat that he was wearing that looked like fur. It was faux respect. Thank you, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, for not actually wearing fur on your body. And forgive me if people out there are not offended by that, but I am. I think that's highly unethical. With that said, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander dropping a game-winning 3 with, I believe, no time left to beat the Denver Nuggets. This was in OKC, 129-126 the final. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 35 points, 9 rebounds, 15 assists in the win. Nikola Jokic, another triple-double, 32 points, 14 rebounds, 13 assists in the loss. The Thunder improving to 51-15. The Nuggets dropping to 39-26. Shreya, despite how good the Spurs are, record-wise, they're second in the West, and despite how rocky of a season the Nuggets have had, I still believe firmly that if Denver is fully healthy, and that includes Aaron Gordon being back, he's been out for months with
He's
this.
back.
He was back?
This is his second game back.
Say what?
Mm-hmm.
So what? Hold on.
Yeah, he's back.
He's back. He is back.
Yeah, because I watched him.
So that explains. Thank you for that clarification. I missed that.
Nice back.
So that partly explains, I think, why this game was as close as it was. Aaron Gordon, 23 points, 10 rebounds in this game. All right. Who are they still missing? They're still missing
Hayden Watson,
who did a phenomenal job filling in for Jokic while he was out. Well, anyways, I still maintain that this Nuggets team, when fully healthy, and the OKC Thunder are your two best teams in the NBA.
Right.
What do you think?
I agree.
I'm not saying that the Spurs are bad. I think the Spurs are unbelievable as well, but
I think that they're top. They're definitely the three of them.
Strongly agree with that as well. So you watched that whole game tonight? Nuggets and Thunder?
No, because I went to the Warriors and suffered over there.
One other game tonight, and this was also a doozy. The LA Clippers at home hosting the New York Knicks, coming away victorious, 126-118. The final score there. Kawhi Leonard who's just been on a tear, man. 29 points, 7 boards, 8 assists in the win. Karl Anthony Towns, 35 points, 12 rebounds, 7 assists in the loss. The Clippers improving to 32 and 32. I believe the first time all year they've reached 500. I think the Knicks dropped to 41 and 25, and that leads to the standings. And I have a visual of that right here so we all can look at this together. Let me set this up. Any thoughts real fast on the Clippers beating the Knicks tonight?
The Clippers are a sneaky team.
Yes, they are.
A sneaky team. And I think the Knicks need one more piece.
Agreed. Look, the Jose Alvarado trade was magnificent.
Oh, yeah. All the way.
But you're right. I do think they're still missing one more player. Like, I don't know what that player is, but...
A big man.
A big would help, yeah. I thought Jordan Clarkson would do a lot more for them this year than he has. That to me, I think ranks at the top of what's disappointed me about the Knicks this year.
But he's kind of streaky. He's always been kind of streaky.
He is, yeah. And this is the standings for you right now. Again, the Thunder, your top seed. The Spurs second. The T-Wolves third right now. The Spurs fourth. Lakers incredibly fifth. I am stunned to see that the Denver Nuggets have fallen to 6th in the Western Conference standings. I highly doubt it's going to finish there, but that's how it is now. Phoenix is 7, and it looks like the top 7 seem pretty set. It would take an unbelievable slide by the Suns or someone else for the Clippers to catch up with them. But the Clippers are now 8. Trailing the 7-seeded Suns by 5 games in the loss column. And the Warriors, for the first time in ages, are no longer the 8th seed. They're now 9th. And what puts them in an even more precarious position, they're just 2 games ahead of Portland for the 10th seed. So it's practically impossible for the Warriors to fall out of the play-in because the 11th best team in the West is Memphis, a team that is egregiously tanking right now. They have no desire to win any games, and yet Memphis is your 11th seed with a 23-40 record. So the Warriors are 8 games ahead of Memphis if they wanted to try to miss the play-in altogether. But Portland is now catching up to them. Do you have any reaction, any thoughts to these standings? Because it is pretty crazy that the Warriors are now the 9th seed in the West.
No, it's pretty much planned. We knew this would happen. It's not surprising at all. The writing was on the wall. This is kind of orchestrated, like I said earlier. We knew we were going to be here.
Horace, if you're out there watching, reach out to me. That's a completely inside thing that I said there. But I bring that up because that individual is who I'm waiting on for this potential sponsorship that I hope gets greenlit soon. This will be a second title sponsor for our show. Oh. And I bring all this up, Sharia, because way back when you first jumped on with us, somebody in the chat was like, you got to pay this person. She needs to be on your books and she needs to be a part of this. And I agree. Zero pushback on that. And that goes back to our potential sponsor and that individual's name I just called out. Let's finish this. Let's make this happen. So I can get Rick Barry paid on a weekly basis. Sheree, do you follow the WNBA at all?
I don't. Sorry, but I'm strictly NBA.
That was one of the funniest sorries I've ever heard in my life. That's if your daughter picked that up on you, that's hilarious.
She does. To me, she does it to me.
I believe it. Anyway, so hopefully that'll happen soon. But that's it. We're done. Shardal, hope you're doing well out there. We'll be back tomorrow. I imagine Shardal will join us then. Sharia, you're always welcome. It's been way too long.
I know.
Again, I'm trying my best. Hopefully we'll make you a permanent a piece of this production. But for tonight, Warriors lose 119-116. They're now the 9th seed in the Western Conference. They have a 500 record, 32-32. Sharia, final thoughts as we wrap it up.
Buckle up. It's going to be a bumpy ride.
Are you going to join us tomorrow night? What's your schedule?
Yes, because I'm not filming on Thursday. I'm not filming the rest of the week. I'm doing like home stuff, taking care of my family. So I'll be available.
Beautiful. Good stuff. We're celebrating that. All right. We'll see you tomorrow night. And again, hopefully you'll be a part of this permanently.
Yes.
Stay tuned. We'll announce our When Steve Kerr's Gut Went Wrong episode, and we're going to use that as a fundraiser to hopefully get Cam seated at a Warriors game. And anything else? Did I forget anything? Are we good? Is that it?
Yeah, we're good. Good to be back.
Right.
Good to be back.
Great to have you back. And thanks everybody as always. And we'll see you tomorrow night. Warriors Bulls post game. Oh, bye-bye.